happening, guys? So today I brought you guys with me today to put in a scrape tree in Nebraska's plot that you guys watched me put it on the YouTube video. So I'm going to try to pull some of these deer out and into the middle of this plot, give them a place to stop for me to hunt. I'm going to set up 2 different stands. So all I have is a 6 inch by 6 inch by 8 foot fence post, and I will go through the whole thing, but I'll take you guys along with us. I'll go through and use a hole saw bit, and I'll put in a couple holes in the top of this to hang limbs in. You kind of going to put them back at an angle like this. That way when your limb hangs, you can get it to hang real good. Try to get it about chest height is my goal. Somewhere close would be fine. Use some post hole diggers and dig. I'm not going to saccrete this like some guys do. Just in case for some reason it doesn't work out, or I don't like it where it is or something, I can move it. I don't want it to be less permanent that way. Some deer will actually even rub on this post, so you want to get it in the ground so it's pretty solid so they don't tear it down. But what you want to do is look around the edge, and I'll take you guys with me around the edge of this food plot, and there's some grapevine they like hanging on or rubbing on naturally. So wherever you guys go to put one of these, try to look around for your natural vegetation where you always see scrapes and stuff. So in the back of this plot there's some red oaks and white oaks, and in the back left corner and under the white oaks, I mean not red oaks, under the white oaks is trees where they constantly have scrapes every single year. So I'm going to take some limbs from that and put on this post. So there's 2 trees that I'm going to put on this plot, put stands on this plot in, I mean. So I'm going to try to square it up to where it's about 30 yards from both those trees for a 30-yard shot. So I'll try to square it up between there and almost to the middle of the plot. So stay with me today, and put some branch butter on it too. I'm self-recording all this stuff, so it's going to be hard to work with 2 hands and get everything done, but we can do it. So stay with me today, and we'll get it done. Hopefully you guys can do that, and some of you guys can be successful. So this is a real nice way to be successful in a food plot that has a bigger area, so you don't have deer sneaking around the backside of the food plot on you and it's too far for a shot. So to pull them in the shot range, and then during the rut, it'll help you out when they're coming in to hit late October, early November, to hit those scrapes to and from beds. So stay with us. Here and into this post I did a straight hole and then a slanted hole on 2 sides for the 2 stands. The slanted hole is for whenever I put if I get a real saggy limb, I put it in there, that way it will hang and droop a little bit. If I find a stick that's got a sticker or a real stiff limb, I can also just hang it straight. So I just done that way I don't have to worry about drilling them once they're in the ground, or in the post is in the ground. It'd be hard for you to do that. So just prepped it with 2 holes on each side, and I'll use either one on each side. So we're going to get over here right behind me, and I'm going to find the tree that I want for a stand on the one side. I already have sticks up on this side, and try to go 30 yards from both of those and kind of meet in the middle, and then put it in the ground and find some trees. So I got my stuff marked out. I don't have a rangefinder, so I stepped it off, so it's going to be pretty close. I mean, I'm comfortable shooting over 30, but 30 is like where I like to put everything. I like to put my stands at 30 away from trails. To me, it's just far enough away where they can't hit you. I mean, they still can, but I don't like to be right on top of a bunch of deer. So here, if they would see it, maybe behind me, there's a stand or a tree right there. And it'll be 30 yards right here, and then there's another one there. That big tree there is where I had my stand last year. The sticks are still in that tree, so I'm going to do the same thing. It's feeding my mineral site right there. And then I'll put 2 angles on this. One with the tree facing this way, so it'll be facing that other stand for them deer to hit for a broadside shot in that tree. And then one this way, long ways with the food plot. So if they hit it that way, or even if they get a walk around to that one, I'll still have a shot in both stands. So plot's coming up good. I'm actually going to hit it here in a couple weeks. Whenever we get a rain, I'm going to hit it with some urea, some 4606 or no, 4600 urea and fertilizer, but you got to do that right before the rain so it doesn't burn it up. So there's no rain in the 7-day forecast. I know the deer's been hitting them hard, judging by my trail cam pictures, but it looks real good. It's a little grassy over there, but I think it'll come in just fine. But you can see, this is what I was talking about. You can see these grapevines here, and you can see where deer have already been scraping and rubbing on that grapevine. So I used this last year a lot for my mock scrapes, and just tucked the camera up in there. And so right up here is the limbs that they used last year. So I'm actually going to get this post in the ground, video some of that, and then go put the limb together and finish setting up. So hang tight. In the ground, good and packed down. Make sure you pack it in good with the either end of your shovel or something. Or I mean, that thing is solid. I'd run cattle fence on that thing. So, like I said before, I got a straight hole and a diagonal hole. So whenever you go to hang your branches, if they droop, you can change holes. But I drilled them pre, so I didn't have to do it when I was in the ground. And this fence is posted in there. I'm 6'6", so I'm just a little under 6 foot in the ground. With these branches hang out about chest height. Like I said, I got holes facing this way, long ways this way for a good shot out of that sand, and same thing with that sand. So we're gonna go find some limbs to stick in there. You gotta watch the diameter of your limbs too for the holes that you drilled. So you can choke them down in the end if you got a knife or something like that, shave them off. But over here in the corner of the plot, last year there are some trees that they were using. I'm hoping to find a limb off that tree, because like I said, they've already been used. It's something they're used to. So if I can get a couple of those limbs, it would be perfect. It's best for you to use stuff that they're used to, limbs that they're used to, or they've used before. So now we're just going to search for a limb. One of them, on one side, I may hang a vine on also with the limb. So I'm going to walk around here and see if I can't find a limb. Alright guys, so you can see I have my licking branch here, and I'll show you, explain some more of this, but I'm going to tear the ground up underneath this and put some gel on it, and we'll grip from there. I need to adjust my camera a little bit, can't tell. Like I said, don't know all this stuff, self-filming. So anyhow, picking a branch here, I went with a vine because the ones they're hitting over there are vines. Like I said, I'd like to use whatever they're using in this area. I have another limb here I'll show you in a minute I want to get underneath of. So I'm just going to tear up the ground here in the food plot for these grapes and start getting this forehead gland on them, and be with you guys here in a second. Tear that ground up. It's right underneath the scrape. Ain't gotta be nothing crazy. Just enough to where it looks like it's been used. There. There's another one over here I'll do. It'll be off camera probably. Alright guys. So, this is what we have. Tore it up. I used a grapevine on this side. Like I said, over there, there's a scrape they're already using. I showed you earlier. Has vines on it that they're already tearing up. So I went with a longer, straighter stick. And all I did was zip tied this grapevine all the way up it, all the way to the top to where this vine hung down. What you want is that vine to hang down about chest height or so, even where the fawns and stuff can use it. But when you get this, see that dripping water? When you get these vines, if you are going to use vines, you got to get them when they're fresh. So get them when they're dripping like that, not real dry. So this one right here, I just used a limb where I knew they had a scrape back there last year. I went and cut that limb down, so I knew they liked the branch. Put it in the post. Same thing, just tore up the ground with the rake. And then now I'm going to add. This stuff worked really good last year. Black Widow's branch butter. Take this branch butter just like this. Well, after I get all the stuff off the packaging anyway. And this stuff, as soon as you bust it open, then you can smell that stuff. It's good, it's what you want, but so I'll just take enough of this branch butter. See if I can get the right angle here. And rub it up and down. Just squirting it out where it'll stick on there. Get it caught up in those limbs, or in those where everything's, the bark's coming off that ivy. Not ivy, but you know what I'm saying, vine. And just drench this thing, just squeeze a little bit out the end and rub it everywhere. Both sides, all the way around. See, I like these limbs like this because deer love when they have play in a scrape. So if I pull on that limb, perfect. Just bounces up and down where they can play with it. They won't bust it off. Put some on these leaves here. And this stuff. Just to get it started. And most of the time, this branch butter, like last year, I only had to do this 1 or 2 times, and then they just took off on everything. So I didn't have to do it again, because then it's just natural. The deer will take over with their natural gland. So once they start hitting it, you don't have to do it anymore. All right. So back that up. So that's what we got. Did it all with the GoPro by myself, but Anyways, I'm gonna try to go through with the regular camera now and show you guys how done it. Well guys, here you are, finished product. I got the post set in. They may even use this for rubbing posts, which is good, but on this side, I end up going with a really straight tree, real stiff tree. I just screwed it into the post, and I zip tied this vine down through here. The vine's what they were hitting over here on the other side, and like I said, I like to use natural stuff. And I came down through here with the vine and put whatever it's called, Black Widow deer lure on it, forehead gland. So branch butter, it's on there, it's dripping, it'll be dripping in that scrape. You can see I scrape up the ground with the rake. But what I like about this is they like to play with these limbs, they like them to move around. So this is literally just going to balance up and down. It's going to be perfect. I mean, absolutely perfect for what I want it for. This side I just did a regular tree branch. If the buck would rather hit on those branches instead. This one I might have to change out during the season if they tear it up too bad. It's secured really good too with screws. So both of what they like in this area. This was actually a tree they were scraping on back there last year, and I went and cut it down. So I think it's going to be an awesome setup to try to kill something out of either stand that I put up for the wind. So it'll just depend on what stand I'm hunting when it comes to the wind. Both of them are about 30 yards, and be awesome if I could kill a buck hitting this scrape this year. I have a trail camera up, so I'll see if whenever they start hitting it, and I'll probably come up and put up a T-post and put up a trail camera on video. So I'll take you around one more time and show you everything on camera and see what you guys think. Like I said, I'm doing all this stuff by myself, so it's a little tough. But so we just zip tied the vines to that tree, cut them off, and I just ran a screw up to the bottom here to suck it into that hole that I showed you guys earlier. There's the hanging branch, vine hanging, scrape, scrape, and my post is just dug in the ground. I put in the ground about 2 foot, tamped it in. There's the other one. So there we go. I think it's going to be a good setup. We'll see how season goes. Get this camera back in here. Well, that's it, guys. So thanks for hanging out with me all day. Like I said in the other video, it's been a struggle to do it by myself. It's been about 3 hours, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it works out this season. I think they're going to tear right into it. So stay with all of us Buckeye Boys. Follow us all. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, especially our YouTube, because if we can get everything going right, and God willing, I think we're going to have a heck of a season. Everybody's got good deer on camera, and we've definitely been putting in the work. So stay with us throughout the whole entire season. Might be early season, might be late season. You know, hunting knows maybe we won't go nothing at all, but you know how that stuff goes. So this is probably my last summer video for the summer, putting these in. I gotta put some stands up, but everybody does stand videos, so I'll just throw them up myself, and the next time you see me, we'll probably be hunting. So stay tuned. Like I said, subscribe to all of our stuff, and we definitely been putting in the work this year, so hopefully it brings us some luck. So, later, guys.